Taking on exposure and response prevention therapy can seem like a horrible idea, but to tell you the truth, it saved my life from OCD and it can save yours too. A lot of people who have OCD will not know what this is, one, or two, will know what it is but not want to do it because they're afraid. But I need to tell you that that is the worst excuse you could ever make. In this video, I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you should do ERP therapy even if you're afraid, because it's better to live your life without OCD than to live in the comfort of having OCD. I totally know how it feels to just feel comfortable with your rituals and obsessions, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. There is hope outside of OCD. There is hope to get better. And with ERP therapy, you can get better, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you should at least attempt ERP therapy. ERP is proven to help people who have OCD. It has been proven by trained psychologists that it does curb OCD symptoms. When you have OCD, you may think there is no way out, like I did, but there is a way out. That way out is ERP. OCD is like a bully. It comes at you with all these obsessions and insults, and you deny them, but it only comes back for more. You denying the insults and getting the reassurance and doing the compulsion only makes OCD want to come back to feed more on your anxiety. However, if you accept what OCD is saying and move on, OCD will get bored and it won't come back. Now, ERP is a little bit more than accepting a thought and moving on, although that will help you beat your OCD. ERP will help it go away faster. When you do an exposure, you will accept your thought, but you will not move on with your day. Instead, you will sit and think about that thought and sit with that anxious feeling until the anxiety goes away, which it will. Our brains are not meant to be anxious for a long time. Trust me, it's a little bit of pain for a lifetime of gain. Eventually, your anxiety will go down naturally. And you will get bored with your thoughts. And I know that sounds totally crazy, but it's happened with me. I used to have thoughts that would really bother me, and now when I get them, I just laugh because, let's face it, OCD is absolutely ridiculous at times. Imagine being able to go about your day without having to spend every second worrying about your obsessions. With ERP, you can do that again. Not at first, it's not like a magic pill, but eventually it will work. A fear a lot of people have about ERP is that once they do an exposure about a specific thought, they won't fear that thought anymore, and that will mean they're okay with the content of the thought. But that is totally not true. You can be not afraid of a thought and also disagree with its content. If you have OCD, your fears are a lot more than the average fears. If it's severe enough, it might be taking over every portion of your life. How many things do you avoid due to OCD? How many compulsions do you do a day? People who have normal amounts of fear to certain unwanted situations do not do repetitive compulsions every single day to get rid of that anxiety. They're able to just shake it off. With ERP, you can learn how to just shake it off again. For example, someone with social anxiety might be afraid to walk into a mall. Now that's a much greater fear than most people have when they have like a little bit of shyness or a little bit of I don't like talking to people in social situations. But if you have extreme social anxiety, you might be afraid to go into any public place. And we like malls, right? Malls are great, so you don't want someone to have to miss out on that because they have anxiety. After exposure therapy, the person with social anxiety would be able to walk into the mall again. A fear some people have when starting ERP therapy is that once they start therapy, they'll find out that their fears are real or that they're actually crazy. However, needing to know that is your OCD, and I know how frustrating it is to hear that. You need to know you're not doing this for no reason, but needing to know fuels your OCD because you can never really be certain with OCD, can you? You will always have an element of doubt. Instead of asking that question, why don't you try therapy and see if it works? If it works, then you can move on with your life with less OCD. If it doesn't work, then your fears are real and you can continue to live with them. What harm will it do to do ERP if your fears are real? You might have seen examples on the internet of other things people have done in exposure therapy, and that might scare you, but I need you to know that you will not be doing the same things those people are doing. And if you haven't seen those things, do not look it up. Just don't look it up. Your hierarchy of exposures will look totally different than someone else's hierarchy. You and your therapist will sit down and create a personalized hierarchy that is for you and your specific fears. And you do not have to do something you absolutely do not want to do. Starting ERP feels like a leap in the dark, but you're not doing the leap alone. So many other OCD sufferers have leapt into the dark and they have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Also, you'll have your therapist right there next to you to guide you along, if you have a therapist, which I strongly suggest since this battle is hard to win without reinforcements. There are so many cliches in that, but if you want to hear more about ERP and my experience with it, then check out the annotations at the end screen of this video. And if you want to hear more about ERP and OCD in the future, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I hope this helped you and maybe inspired you to do more to fight back against your OCD. Bye!